Hey guys, sorry for the little bit of a delay. Just some technical issues, you know how that goes. Doesn't happen until you are ready to go live. So anyway, hey, happy Sunday evening. Thanks for joining me, and I thought I would start doing some of my Facebook Lives featuring the products out of the occasion. I know I call it the Occasions catalog. It's the January to June mini catalog, and things are retiring out of there, and it always makes me sad. So I thought I would kind of focus on the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper. It's with the awesome Friends Are Like Seashells suite, but I thought I would then show how it can be done using other stamp sets. So, good evening, everyone. So let me start off with this one. All right. So this one, yes, that one does use the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set. Actually, I'm using the bundle, so it is the stamp set and the dies. Great set. You're going to want that one. It is obviously not retiring because if you have the new annual catalog, you'll see it in there. But it's as a bundle right now, so you get to save some money that way. Let me put this one off to the side. Let me show you what supplies you're going to need. My top folding card base. This one happens to be Sahara Sand. I also have then a piece of the Designer Series paper. Don't ask me why. I'm into the 3 3/4 by 5. And that's kind of my thing now, along with the top folding cards. And then I have a piece of Blushing Bride, and this is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So let me go ahead, get this adhered down together here. All right, just a little bit of the liquid glue, and all right, so there's those two together. Now, I have to tell you a bit of a funny story. My upline, her name is Lynn Dunn. She's a fabulous designer, friend. Anyway, she does her Facebook Lives every Sunday morning. I cannot tell you the times that we have had similar projects. We are using the same stamp sets, something like that. It is just, it's kind of freaky how much alike that we are. So, and this was another example. She did cards where you can put like you create a pocket. So she had a square, which is what I have here. This is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then you just cut it, put it in your paper trimmer, cut it on the diagonal. That's what I did. That's what I have here. Let me show it to you again on my card, except mine's adhered all the way down. She had this side open so that she could slip something in. That was the pocket she created. So like I said, it's a little freaky how alike we think. So anyway, I also had a piece of white cardstock that was 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. That again I cut on the diagonal, and this way I have something now to to mount that on and to layer it up, because we all know that I love my layers. So let me go ahead and get this down. Let me move some stuff out of the way. I feel like I'm always having it all right in my way. All right. So I like having that little bit of a border showing here of the white. Now this I'm going to adhere down to my main focal image here, focal point, and I am going to line it up. Let me get some adhesive on here real quick first. All right, so I'm going to put it up in the upper corner. I don't know why I went with the left, but it's going to go over the DSP. All right, so I'm not going over that pink or Blushing Bride layer, so I still want that to show. So instead, I'm just going up to the edge of the paper. So, see what I mean? Let's go ahead and get this down now. This is one that is super quick, and also I have a really bad habit because I love pattern paper so much. I know this will cause you to gasp, that I buy too much of it. I know what. So anyway, I like to try and find ways that I can use a lot of it. You know what I mean? So this kind of helps. All right, the sentiment comes from that stamp set. Friends are like seashells. I just used a circle, the layering circle dies, cut that out. It's Sahara sand is then the scalloped layer that's on that. So let me go ahead and tear this down. Now I debated as far as any type of embellishment, and I decided I wanted to use some of the seashells and use the dies to cut them out then that are in that bundle. So that's what I did here. So all I'm gonna do is, let me just get a little glue here. I'm going to adhere these two together. And then this will become my embellishment. All right. So let me just go ahead and put a little bit of glue on this. And I will embellish my circle using stamps as opposed to gems or anything like that. That's it. That's the only, that's all that I went into making that card. So card number 1, done. Okay, let me get you on to card number 2. This one just took a little bit of time, and the only reason is getting the circles kind of glued down. So this again I used, well, first let me just bring out some of the pieces and parts you're going to need. I have 2 different designs of the Sand and Sea DSP, and I cut 6 of each design. So here it's sort of like the watercolor yellow, and then the yellow starfish and what have you. This one, it's with the pink watercolor look, and then the pink with the seashells on it. So just thought I would just change it up a little bit. Top folding, white card base. All right, that's the thick basic white. I also have a piece of basic white here. You guessed it, it's 3 3/4 by 5. The black is then 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So let me just start with this piece of white. And I'm just going to start arranging my circles. These are 1 1/4 inch circles. And I happen to have a punch that is 1 1/4. So I just went ahead and started punching a whole bunch out. So I eyeballed these. I just started kind of in the middle and worked my way around, just setting them out. Notice how some are going to go off the edge, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. So I wanted to just alternate sort of the plain pink and then the pink shells. So let me do this one and then the final 2. All right. If, you know, some of them, whoa, that one's not on there quite right, then move it around. Do it the way that it looks good to your eye, is how I see. I in no way was going to do any measuring here. So, but like I said, just kind of eyeball it and go from there. And then it's just a matter of starting to glue it down. So don't ask me why, but I felt like I had to get the pieces in the middle first. Then I can sort of do around the edges accordingly. So I am using my pick it tool to pick it up. All right. That way I can just get some liquid adhesive on there and then get it put down. This way I'm not interfering with any of the others, kind of how I have it laid out. But if I go ahead and get the center lines in, like I said, I feel like I can then go with the outer ones and they will fit in perfectly. All right, so I know that some of them are going to overhang, and that is perfectly fine. Let me get them again, just eyeballing, and I'm going right down the middle first. Okay, so trying to space them out evenly, but we'll see. All right, so let's pretend that I have all of them now adhered down, which I do here. You don't need to see me gluing down 12 circles. So here are the 12. And like I said, you can see that they're hanging out over. They are not even whatsoever. And I'm okay with that. So let me just go ahead now. And all it is a matter of cutting them off and even with the edge of my cardstock. Now, if you feel better about using your paper trimmer to cut this off, go ahead and do that. I did find that I had some glue that came out off the edges here, so I did want to make sure that it dried, just so it's a little bit easier for me to cut then, and I'm not gumming up my scissors. Okay, which I kind of am anyway. So let me just get this last bit done. And you know what? This is it for this card as far as anything that takes a lot of time. All right, now it's going to be just as simple as putting all your pieces together. So, all right, so here it is, all cut and ready to go. Let's go ahead and adhere this piece now down to our piece of black. I love the look of the black. It really makes this white pop. And it really lets the that designer series paper, I think, kind of shines too with it. So, okay. Now this can go down to my card base. It was a beautiful day today. A little on the hot side, but I'll tell you what, I'm not complaining because I feel like we always wait forever for summer to come, so I am not complaining when it gets here. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you the stamp set. I did use a new one out of the new annual catalog. It is called Biggest Wish, and I used the Hello. And then on the inside, let me just show you real quick, I went with Friend. So kind of like that, the thicker. I have a video coming out that I'm going to be using this stamp set and doing some techniques with it. So that one will be fun. All right, so all I did was stamp it on with black ink on white cardstock, mounted it onto a piece of black, and then did some banner cutting too. So let's go ahead. I'm just putting that up against the edge there, popping that up. Oh, and I didn't get them out of the package. I have these, the matte black dots. And let's get a couple of those on. And then we'll be finished with this card. See, it was that quick. One more. And there we go. So you got to tell me in the comments, pink or yellow? All right. Which one? The pink or the yellow? All right. Now, the last one is a bit of a fun fold. Again, using the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper. And unfortunately, the stamp set, because why it's unfortunate is I have not had enough time to play with it. And it is the Friendly Flamingo stamp set. It comes as a bundle, the flamingo dies. I love this die that cuts the flamingo out, and then the little wing for it as well. So I just have not had enough time to play. So this actually, the Designer Series paper is the card base. All right, it's the card, and it's a fun fold card. So let me show you how to make this. Now, as you can see, this watercolor pink and yellow look, I kind of have as the main design. I cut again, and this time, this is the other side of that paper. I'm going to flip it around and make this be, so it's just going to be the opposite of this. So let me show you what I mean on that. So, okay. I have a stitched rectangle with some Bermuda Bay matting for it. On the inside of the card, you saw that I already had this one stamped, and this measures 5 inches, 2 3/4, actually both pieces. So I'll put them kind of on the inside, and this way, this one's just for kind of decoration, and then the plain one will be where you can write your message. Okay, I do have the flamingo cut out of Flirty Flamingo. Isn't that nice? And I have the wing is what I'm going to pop up. All right. Sentiment. Now let's get to the paper here. This is a piece of the Designer Series paper, and it measures 5 1/4. I took that off of somebody on Pinterest. I went with these measurements, but you could certainly make it 5 1/2 the width. That I don't think will matter, but the length of it is 11 3/4. So you can get two of these cards out of one sheet of 12 by 12 DSP. There are some, let me flip it around this way so I can point out the score lines. There's 3 of them. You have 1 3/4, 4 3/4, and then 7 3/4. All right. Now this one where it's the 7 3/4 to the edge is kind of the bottom of your card, so to speak. I'm going to fold along that score line. Let me go ahead. Oops, there it is. So I kind of fold it back on itself. The next score line, so see how I'm just kind of, what is this, like an accordion fold, I think is what it's called. So I'm just kind of folding it back and forth on itself. But I wanted the shells to be what you see more of than this watercolor effect here. So let's go ahead and just kind of burnish all of those down. And here it is. All right. Now, the card, I've seen it both ways, and I honestly prefer having this flap to adhere down. It bothered me to have to open my card this way if this flap was not adhered down. So I like to go ahead and adhere this little flap. This is the one that's 1 3/4 by the 5 1/4. So I'm going to just go ahead, put a little adhesive here, and adhere this down. This way now I'm like, okay, I can open this, to me, the way it's meant to open. Okay, so let's now go ahead and get, since I already have them cut out, one of them I already have all stamped. Again, this is from the Friendly Flamingo. I'm going to open it up, and this is just for the inside. If I can get my adhesive to come out. Come on. One more try. Here we go. Okay. So now between these 2 score lines is where I'm going to put this first panel. Now here he's stamped in Flirty Flamingo, and the vines are in Pool Party. Now this is the one that I'm thinking, oh, if I want to sign my name or write a little message on there, that's the one that I want to do it on. So same size, it's the 2 3/4 by 5. The only thing is, I want to make sure that it is, here's that score line. I want to be just to the right of that score line there. That way when it's closed, that panel, that plain white panel now is covered. Okay? All right, let me set this off to the side. I'm going to bring in some scrap paper, and I'm going to bring in my rectangle here, the stitched rectangle, because I want to do a little bit of stamping and some add a little bit of sponging. Well, I guess, I don't know, is it sponging if I'm using the blending brush? Not sure. So let me go ahead. This is Pool Party ink that I have, and I am going to turn this sideways. Just helps me. I want to just kind of come up through the center of it. Be a little bit heavier down here, thinking that this is the water. All right, and then work my way up to kind of give my little flamingo something to sort of be up against, some sky. So, all right, so doesn't look all that great right now, but wait. All right, now I do have this stamp here that I will show you in a second. It is what just kind of gives you the water effect here. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball it here. So I'm thinking I've got my flamingo about here. I like them there. So how much of this do I, or how high, how low do I want my water to go? So I'm just going to eyeball it and put it right there. Okay, so that too was in Pool Party. So both the blending of the ink and the stamping were both done in Pool Party. All right, time to get this assembled. So let me go ahead and get this put down here. I better find a different bottle of glue because this one doesn't seem to want to work. Couldn't be that I've possibly used it all up, is it? Okay, so yes, I'm upside down. All right, so let's bring this around. Let me go ahead and get the flamingo down. So I'm gonna get a little bit of glue, just a couple little dots right here on his legs and his feet. And let's get him adhered down. Isn't he awesome? I love this guy. Or girl. So there we go. Making sure that has a minute to catch and adhere. Like I said, the wing, let me bring it in. I hope I'm not getting it too close and getting it all blurry. But the you can see it did a little bit of debossing, I guess, with the wing. So it just makes, put some cool markings on that too. So this is the, right now, the dies are like 50% off. So hurry up and get them during the last chance sale. I always call it the retirement sale. And so you can get these dies. Let me show them to you again. You can get the dies, and I'm pretty sure they're 50% off. So buy them separately. I know I'm always like, buy the bundle. Make sure you get the dies separately, and the stamp set. It's great. So, all right, let me go ahead. Let me find some dimensionals. Lots and lots of dimensionals here. So, and then a couple more. You know I can't go without them. And here we go. I'm going to bring in my card base, which it sounds weird because it's done out of pattern paper. So usually a card base is the heavy cardstock that we have, and it's fun to have it done with pattern paper instead. So let me bring it over here. There we go. I did one of the sentiments that's in the stamp set, "You're outstanding," and inked that up in Flirty Flamingo. Banner cut that end, and now I am going to just pop it up right here. And then we can open it, and here's our card. If I could find them in the mess of my desk, I would put on the On the sample, I have a, I'll find them after I'm done. I put on one of the resin heart embellishments on it. And yeah, for the life of me, I can't find them. So anyway, those are on sale too, by the way. Just wanted to let you know that. So lots of fun stuff that's on sale in that last chance from the catalog. So, all right. So there we go. Now, as you can see, it is different. I don't know. I think I'm liking this one a little bit better. Huh. Just with the background being the shells as opposed to this kind of watercolor effect. So anyway, those are my cards tonight using the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper. I want to try and do a bunch of other cards that use various papers and stamp sets that are retiring. You never know. Sometimes you just might have been like, oh, wait, I didn't see that one. So, yeah, I want to kind of tempt you with that. So let me just bring in, I see we have someone who likes the pink. So let me put the pink one on top here. And my friends are like seashells. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for hanging with me. It's been a great time. I really do enjoy being here Sunday evenings and talking away and crafting. So, hey guys, have yourself a great rest of the evening, a great week, and I will see you later. Bye now.